Hey yo, what's going on? Spikes you here, or Spikes and you. What's going on, y'all? Yo, okay, so I know we had a gear guide the other day, and I talked about the seasonal units that they have out there on the shop. They're nice. What I wanted to do is just figure out, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's take it one step, go further above and beyond, and let's actually make these units, see actually how much it will cost to get a nice little budget build for in-game type content, you know. So let's actually go see here and see what we can do. I'm going to try to use some of the more cheaper items, the more cheaper augments, and we're going to see where we can get with these and how much it's going to cost. This is going to help out tremendously for anyone trying to build a unit right now who does not have that Meseta. You know, it's like right now Sega has set it up so much to a point where you don't need it. You don't need that Meseta. You don't need it to get that quality gear, because Sega is throwing out augment sizes left and right, and take advantage of it. So let's hop in here. Let's go see. We're gonna go ahead and buy these units. First and foremost, don't worry about, you know, everyone here. I'm in streamer mode, which cuts out everyone from talking, so nothing crazy is gonna pop up or something like that. So no need to worry there. Let's go in here. Let's first go to the seasonal shop. Let's scroll all the way down here. Let's buy these 3 units that we talked about previously before that come equipped with a Mastery 4, an Alt Secreta, a triple, and an Errati Soul. Okay, these 2 augments, the Alt Secreta and the Mastery 4, are 100% going to stay. We'll see what we're going to do with these other 2. There's probably a better soul option. There's probably some souls that you might be sitting around. Maybe we'll keep it for right now, but we'll see, and we're going to see how much this actually costs us. So these worth this 3 units right here. Get all these. Cost 45,000 seasonal points. Nothing too crazy. Also, keep in mind while we're in the shop that they do have all these in the shop as well. So you can buy 40 of these, 40 of these, and then down here below they had, which I already got them, the Gigas Precisions, Technique, and Might, as well as more Mastery Force. Okay, so we already got the souls too. Like, we're literally good to go. We're literally good to go. You can get these. You can get 10 of these good souls. So that's good to go right there. That's good to go right there. At any rate, we're going to go in here. We're going to buy these. We're going to get these Mights, get these Precisions, get these Techs. We're going to get all these. We'll get these Defs as well. We'll get these Deft as well. Why not? Get those as well. That gives potency 4 increase. Though we're not really going to use that. Because if you were to use something like that, just use a Dread Keeper. Let's be honest. Because it gives potency plus 6.0%. Don't actually use a deafness. If you know, like, if you're going to put something there that's only potency 4 increase, which you don't really want, it's better to have potency and potency 4 increase both together. But you know, don't put deafness 4 if you have the option to. So we're gonna buy these, buy all this stuff up. We're just gonna buy all this stuff up. Why not? Actually, no, we won't buy that. We'll buy these though. So we got these units that we're buying here. There's 45,000 seasonal points. It's very easy to obtain, so don't be overwhelmed by that. Of course, these are a bit more, but we're getting 40 of them also. We haven't bought a Trunkul. We'll try. I guess we'll try to toss that in towards the end and see how much it's actually going to be. So pretty much, we're just going to put one thing on here. So I'm looking here now, and we just leveled up one of these Vito units, and we're going to switch to all these. Okay, we didn't even level up these, but for intents and purposes of us seeing what the potency is going to be out with all 3 of these equipped, we're going to equip all of them and see where it puts us. It puts us at 68.3. In the previous video, I mentioned that there's really no excuse to be not at least 75%. So I can tell you right now that you level up all 3 of these, and you can literally keep these augments on here. These ones that are already on here, you level these up to 60, you get that 5th slot that you can now have access to. You could literally put the cheapest thing on there, like an ability 4. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put an ability 4 on there. I'm going to see how it jumps. I'm going to change this back because I can't be walking around with this crazy stuff on me. Can't be walking around with this crazy stuff on me. So we'll go ahead and put something super simple on here. We'll add this augment right here. We're going to add a precision Precision 4. Remember, you get these from the shop, from the seasonal shop. There's 40 of them that you can get of each ability, whether it's might, precision, or technique. You can get 40 of these from the seasonal shop. If you don't want to do the seasonal shop, they're literally the cheapest things on the seasonal on the personal shop. They're super cheap. So we're going to grab 10 of these. Cost 1K, 1,000 to put this augment on here. We're going to put this augment on here. Boom. Yes.
A success.
A success. Okay, so now we have this augment on here. Now we're going to put this gear back on. We're going to see how much it jumps. You're going to get a pretty good understanding. If you just do this to the other two units, you're going to be in a very good position for a nice, solid little budget build, right? So we'll put these back on. Look at that, 73.3. 73.3. I can tell you right now that if you level these guys up, these other guys up to 60, and you put the same thing, an ability 4, you can leave all these augments here. And these aren't even necessarily great augments. You can have a better soul that for cheap. There's actually souls in the shop that you can get in the seasonal shop for cheap, for free. There's seasonal points that are 3.0 instead of 2.75. That will make it even better. This is not a great augment either. You could use a duelable in place of this. Let me actually show you all that while we're on this topic right now.
Welcome.
And you could literally go here and type in duelable or duel, and you'll see there's different types. Melra duelable. Let's see Mel Tech, Raw Tech. So let's look at this one. 7K. You can buy 10 of these. That's 2.75% instead of that 2.0% from the triple. And these are super cheap. If you go, you probably have some of these sitting around. Let's be honest. You can check your inventory. You probably have some of them sitting around. You can look at some of the other ones. Raw Tech, 7K. So let's get they're all around 7K. That's the easy right there. That's just 70K right there. You know, I imagine that these are around the same price, regardless of what ship that you're on, as they're not, you know, extremely, you know, top tier augments or in well high demand, right? So that's easy peasy right there, dude. Look at that. That's 73.3%. Of course, I have a Neos Astrin on here. You know what? We'll buy a Trunkul weapon. We'll buy a Trunkul weapon. This comes fully augmented, right? We'll buy a Trunkul. Okay. Trunkul machine guns.
As you wish.
And we'll equip these.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Okay. Which one's... We'll equip these down here. Okay. So does that put me at? It puts me at 62.2%. Okay, so even still, this will get you... Okay, well, first and foremost, these augments on this weapon. If you do this to all these... Okay, so yeah, if you do this to all these, you'll be right around 75%. You'll be right around 75%. And you're good to go. If you level this to 60, so that way it can have the 5th augment slot, and you do the same thing, you put an ability 4 on there, and you take the other 2 units and you put an ability 4 on there, it will put you right around 75%. The absolute minimum of where you should be at. If you're just on super low budget build, that's the absolute lowest. And this essentially for free. You just have to put 1 augment. That's without replacing any of these augments that are already on here. Of course, once the seasonal is over, you'll need to change this. Of course, once the seasonal is over, you will need to change this. So, like you're good to go. You're seriously good to go. There's really not much of an excuse here for that. It's going to cost absolutely nothing. The most expensive thing that you're really going to be doing is leveling up the units. That's really the most expensive thing that you're going to be doing is enhancing the units. The limit breaks are 170K per unit, as in probably per weapon too. So it's going to run you around 700K, right? Like 690. So around 700K is what it's going to run you around. And then that's pretty much it. Everything else pretty much just comes with it. You're going to have to enhance these guys, which isn't going to take too much. You probably have a lot of gold prim armor sitting around. If you don't, pretty sure they drop from the limited time quests in abundance. And if not, you can get them from the personal shop for around 1K a piece. It takes 11 of them to fully enhance. That's without a great success boost, which you'll likely get because there's a plus 40% for a great success boost currently going on right now. So you'll likely get a great success boost. So you probably won't even really need 11 of them per unit because you'll get that great success boost, which will save you a lot. Either way, this is going to cost you less than 1 million, period. So limit break, we're gonna need to limit break these, which is requires arms refiners. Arms refiners. So you have to actually go to the item trader. It was actually where I was just at.
Welcome.
You can get these here. You can exchange items for other enhancement materials. Arms refiner 2. You can exchange arms refiners for these. Keep in mind that if you're at level 70, you should probably have some arms refiners sitting around. Arms refiner 2s will drop from zones such as Newsom Plant. And I have seen them in the LTQ. However, they're not a very common drop. So keep that in mind. But you can trade these. As you can see, you have Strugments A, B, C, and NEX cube. You have arms refiners right here. Arms refiner 2s that you can trade these in for arms refiner and NEX cube. NEX cubes are obtained from when you're max level on your class that you're playing on. Whenever you reach, as if you were to level up again, you get an NEX cube, and hence can be traded for arms refiners with Strugments. So with Strugments, all these Strugments drop from enemies across the world of Halpha, and by leaving like yellow triggers and stuff like that. So you can get these. You can also buy these from the personal shop. They're never really very expensive. So you see these down here, you can just look them up on the personal shop. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg. I believe that we can stay pretty cheaply under here. I think that leveling up these equipments is probably going to be the most expensive thing in this whole thing, quite frankly. I believe that that's what's going to be the case. Regardless, it's going to cost you less than 1 million to just simply do these small things and get your units like that. Get your units in this weapon like that. I got the Trunkul on right now. I got those units right now. I haven't done anything to the units besides we saw that we put that on there and we saw how well it would be. These do not have that on there yet. We're at 62.2%. You put an ability 4 across the board on the weapon and on these next 2 units, and you're at least in well pace to have at least a solid budget build for more in-game type content. You'll reach around that 75% mark, which is at least doing something. It makes a huge difference in comparison to having potency that is so far down. Like, if you have potency in the 50s or something like in your level 70, like, please make it a priority. It is serious for you to do something about that. It is absolutely serious for you to do something about that. So please do something about it. Please. And that's pretty much that. So there's really, I just really want to go through here and show Sideway. Y'all would see it. I would have went deeper into it, but I was like this is actually kind of a lot to kind of do. So I was going to re-augment some of this stuff. I would recommend putting a different soul on here. The souls are very cheap, and you can even get some from the seasonal shop depending on what soul you want. So there's different types of souls here in the shop. You'll scroll down here. We'll see like nil soul tech. That's for technique, weapon potency. Then you have down here, which I already got these ones. You have the frayed soul, which is for melee weapon potency. And you see up here it says can purchase up to 10. You actually can't see that. Let me scroll it over. You see right there it says can purchase up to 10 per account. So you can get 10 of these. Yet when the shop resets, you'll be able to get more. Probably another 10. So that's free right there. So you'll have at least 2 units for free. With these top tier augments, as well as these Gigas 4s. Remember, we didn't put any Gigas or anything like that. So pretty much like you should be able to easily get into the 80s, 80% easily. You should be able to reach 80%, pretty much no problem. By the time the season was over, take advantage of all this free augments that they're giving, and you're good to go. You're absolutely good to go. This is all free stuff. Take advantage of it because they're throwing it out there for a reason to help out with the community, because they know there's a lot of people who are not properly geared, and it creates issues, it creates problems, it creates it's a nuisance for pickup groups for Dark False Ages. You see a lot of times people drop dark false ages, because they'll go into it and then they'll see that people aren't the best equipped, and so they're like, oh wow, well, I wasn't expecting this to take 30 minutes. So I know that it's going to, because I see that these people aren't equipped. It should take 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not saying I do that, but I see people do it all the time. So for the experience, at least have the decency to get geared. Now, of course, on the high end builds, you're gonna have 90 potency, 100, close to 100 potency, or if you're just going straight potency, you will have 100 potency. So, but 75 is at least a reasonable minimum starting point for those people who cannot necessarily afford to augment and enhance and do everything like that. This is a very much, everything's right in front of you. In the seasonal shop, everything's right in front of you. So take advantage of it. There's no excuse at this point, because it's right there. They provide a weapon. They provide units that are almost fully leveled up already. There's no excuse for it. Hopefully this helps, and please like and subscribe. I love to help out the community, and it helps me out when you like and subscribe. So I'll see you all in the next one. We got maintenance coming up tomorrow, so we'll see what's. Well, actually, it's probably gonna be today when I release this video. So, anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Get it done. Glad I could help. Good day.